Income Tax Kochi. Yeah, to speak few words. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.
Renowned personalities, distinguished invitees, entrepreneurs, educators, academicians, my dear friends, a warm morning to you all. Chennai is warm for most part of the year. So this conclave, what is the future of business and how we can leverage technology for a sustainable growth. Why do we talk about sustainability all the time? As we speak, business is at doldrums, at crossroads. Innovations keep happening. There are a lot of regulations. There are a lot of expectations from the consumers. There are a lot of expectations from the investors who have invested in the business. Too many stakeholders, and therefore there is a need for a long-term viability of the business. The investor will be interested to invest in a company or a business where his investment is protected. The business is viable for the long term. It is a sustainable business. The same time, the consumer, long time back, we know something called brand loyalty. When you are loyal to a brand for a very long time, in this Instagram era, it's very difficult to have that brand loyalty. Therefore, businesses have to be on their toes. Now with the e-commerce platforms, online trading, imagine, so few decades ago, if you buy a car, it was like a lifetime vehicle for you. But not the case anymore. Every day you come with new models, and of late, the battery operated cars, so the sustainability stems from there. The fuels which we were using had caused a lot of pollution. We had to look for alternatives. We always speak of renewable energy. So then we have to shift gear. There has to be a paradigm shift. So we have to reduce the energy consumption. We have to minimize the waste. So we have to optimize the resource use. These are the tools or vehicles of sustainable growth. So we have to enhance the resource use efficiency. The driver for that is innovation. And entrepreneurs who have gathered here, you are the fulcrum of innovation. You come up with new practices day in and day out. You research for that. You toil hard. You burn midnight oil to come up with innovative ideas. So this driver of innovation, and in the business, the most important thing is the assembly line or the supply chain. Anybody who would have visited an automobile car assembly unit, you would have seen, every 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, a car will be coming out. And hundreds of parts that get assembled. So many individuals used to do that, if you would have seen 20 years before. Acute precision. So many, you imagine inside a car how many parts are there. Everything got to be assembled, and within 2 minutes a car comes out. Now, most of them are taken by robotic machines. And this robotic machines, artificial intelligence, they have come into our medical practice, into surgery also. Precision surgeries are the need of the day. In such a situation, technology has a pivotal role in sustaining business enterprises. And particularly in this digital era, it is digital technology. So one needs to understand the digital technology, then harness this digital technology for achieving the long-term sustainability goals. So, at the same time, each and every one of us have to have a environmental perspective, a socially responsible approach. 4 decades before, what is a business means? It's an entity to make profits. That would have been an answer. But today, if that question is asked, that's not the answer. A businessman or an entrepreneur cannot be successful by merely making profits. And if that is the motive, that business will not be a sustainable business. So there has to be a economic viability. The business has to make profits. At the same time, there is a social dimension. There is a environmental dimension. That is the vital of all the other dimensions. So technology helps in the supply chain process also. Automation, data analytics, data mining. We gain a lot of insights. So this data helps in decision making, helps the information used for decision making, informed decision. And these insights help us to minimize the damage to the environment. Informed decision making helps us to prioritize sustainable growth. So, some time back, if we were focusing on energy efficiency, now the shift is towards responsible resource use or responsible sourcing of resources. So, the digital technology helps align the business objectives towards sustainability approach. The Internet of Things, that's the buzzword. Using IoT sensors, the IoT tools, businesses can optimize the energy use, look for alternate renewable energy sources, solar energy, wind energy, and think about cleaner energy alternatives. So integrating these renewable energy, it helps in reducing the impact on the environment. We are able to achieve environmental conservation and combat climate change. Do you think that the air we breathe, the water which is available to us belongs to us? No, we have borrowed them from our future generations. We have to leave this air and water intact for them to use in the future. It is our responsibility. We have borrowed this air and water from our future generations. If we pollute them and leave this water and air not fit for use, then how do the future generations live? It would be a disgrace for the present generation of humanity. So there comes this environmental dimension. We have a social responsibility. When I say we, business houses, business enterprises, and educationists or educators gathered here for sustainable business growth have this primary responsibility. So businesses have to be responsible business entities. They have to be sustainable. So how do this be achieved? Social entrepreneurship. All of us would have heard this concept of entrepreneurship. Who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is one who takes risk. Does he take blind risk? No. He takes calculated risk. And does he take a very high level of risk? No. He takes moderate risk. Calculated, moderate risk taker. He knows how much risk he is taking. He is the entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur. But now, that's not sufficient. He has to be a social entrepreneur. So he has to collaborate. So it's not the job of businessman alone. Business has to be in partnership with the government, with the non-government, the non-profit organizations, with the civil society, with the local people. All of them have to be synergistically coming together for achieving this sustainable business growth. For operational efficiency, we have to streamline the supply chain processes for optimal resource utilization, reducing the waste, Automation, data analytics, smart technologies are the need of the hour. We have to adopt eco-friendly practices. At the same time, we have to engage everyone who is a stakeholder, the customer, the investor, the consumer. Everybody has to involve in the growth of the business. So social media, online collaboration, this e-commerce platforms, this is how we engage with all the stakeholders. This connectivity fosters the sense of shared responsibility, and there is a sustainable consumer culture. So this innovation creates opportunities for business. More business grows. There is a competitive edge in the global market with this innovation towards sustainability. So when you meet the environmental and the social responsibility standards, it attracts environmentally conscious consumer. The consumer today is environmentally conscious. So the business houses have to align their economic objectives of profits with that of the return on investment for the investors as well as the benefit for the consumers. We have to take care of the next generation and at the same time comply with the regulators, with the government agencies who impose regulations. So when we do all this, there are a lot of concerns, issues. So how, with a lot of digital technology, there is going to be a lot of e-waste. How we are going to handle the e-waste? More and more energy consumption, cloud computing, data storage, leads to expansion of the digital footprint. So a lot of hazardous substances posing risk to our health itself. Our existence itself comes under threat. What would be the solution? So these data centers, we have to know that those data centers also have to be dependent on renewable energy sources. So we have to have a responsible e-waste management culture. We have to go for eco-friendly technologies. So this environmental entrepreneurship is the buzzword which you have to carry back in your mind when you are going to conduct business in the future. So that is, we are going to utilize the current natural resources, meet the current needs without compromising the future generations' needs. They are dependent on this same air and water. You know that resources are finite. We have to minimize the environmental impact. So go for recycling, reuse, reduce consumption. Overconsumption is not good for the future generation. So sustainable resource management has an environmental dimension, a social dimension, then comes the economic dimension. For this environmental, social and economic responsibility will lead to long-term viability, and that is the buzzword for future of business. We have to promote equitable access to resources and foster a community engagement culture. Thank you for the opportunity, and this was a wonderful platform. I think we have set the tone for the conclave, and with the forthcoming sessions, we hope we don't destroy this, what is available to us, the natural resources. We keep it intact and hand it over to the future generations. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Please stay back here, sir. I request Mr. Abhishek and Amit to present memento and shawl to Dr.S.PANDIAN, sir. Thank you so much. Can we have a small round of applause for Dr. Pandian, sir? Yes, thank you.